What's up, YouTube? How's it going? Excuse me for sounding like shit right now. I'm pretty tired from work. But I didn't tell you guys that I have a job now, a full-time job that I will be doing for a while. But that's not why I'm making this video for. Yum! I just made myself a smoothie. Anyways, I'm gonna be making a tutorial video on how I edit pictures. My like fourth or fifth tutorial video, and my friend Santosh has given me this picture. Shout out to you, Sharia underscore supercars. There we go. I'll have it in the link to script, or I'll have it in the video somewhere displayed. Anyways, I'm gonna be editing this Audi R8 picture that he sent me, and Santosh's pics are like always lit. It's gonna be a quick edit. So for a picture like this, I like the darkness of this area right here, and I like how the light is just popping over here in this little section. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna just bump up the exposure by 30, maybe 35, and I'm gonna drastically bring up the contrast because I love contrast. There we go. You see there's more black, so the car pops out to you more without being overexposed, which is a good thing. If you hear background noise, I apologize. There's cooking going on at my place, so it's a lit party. That's what it is. I'm gonna bring my highlights down. I always bring my highlights down because you want to get that nice sky look over here. And it looks a little meh because I brought it down too much, but I'm gonna bring it down to -50. It's perfect. Shadows, I always love to bring them up. Not too much though, because the picture turns a different color. It actually does for some reason. And then I bring my whites up to a good 25 is good. The car is now more blue. If you can tell it's blue. If you can't, you're colorblind AF. I'm gonna bring down the blacks. I love bringing down the blacks too. Clarity. On certain pictures I like to add a lot of clarity. Some pictures I don't, but for this picture it's so crisp that I don't need to do it too much. So I'm gonna bring it up to 35 is good. So you can see the details in a little bit more. The wheels, the headlights, the grill, definitely the grill, the logo right here. Oof, so nice. Next, I am going to adjust the colors. Vibrance, some people like to bring down the vibrance and up the saturation, but for me it's like kind of the opposite. Vibrance gives a little more color without being oversaturated. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bump it up to a good maybe like 18 and desaturate it by like maybe 8 or 5. 5 is good. It's all right. I want to still see a little bit of the orange and the green and the red seats, but I'm gonna completely get rid of the blue. Now, a famous saying from a wise man named Kush: desaturate the blues. There we go. I only brought it down halfway and it got rid of most of the blue. You can see it's just a tiny bit of blue left, but I don't want to go too far down, otherwise the car would look gray as fuck. Like, this is what I mean. It's gonna look gray and you can see a little bit of the warmth a little bit, which I don't like too much, so I'm gonna give it 50. So that way you can still see some nice blue. And the car is not completely orange, but white. Yeah, I can. I'm gonna bring up my reds. I'm gonna bring up my oranges. I'm gonna bring up my yellows. I'm gonna bring up my greens. Oh, actually not that much. There we go. Purple. I don't know if there is any purples. There are no purples in this picture. That's good. Now, with color, I also use hue more than I use don't read any of that. Disregard any of that. The hues, I don't know how to explain the hues too much, but this is because every picture is different depending on like either the warmth or the color or the temperature of the picture. If it's a little cooler, then I have to mess with the hues a little differently than versus a picture that has a lot of warmth. As you can see, I'm wiggling it left and right. You can notice a difference in color. So I'm going to give it a little more like the orange look. And you can see the background colors start to change too. Disregard that. God damn, my PS4 has to update. Are you for real right now? Alright, back to the video. This is a good spot to keep the oranges. I want the sky to be orange, not yellow, please. And the yellow, adjust it a little bit. You can see it changes colors too. And it changes, if you bring up the yellows, it's like more green. Bring it down, it's like more orange. So right here is perfect. You want the colors or the lighting to be as natural as possible. So in the greens, I bring up just a tiny bit so that way we can get a little color from the mountain or this, whatever you call this right here. Aqua, I don't think there is that many aquas. You can't see it much. Usually aqua applies to some of the greens, so around this area, or a windshield. If you have a polarizer, it affects the windshield, the aquas. So you can see it changing a little bit. I'm going to bring it down to a blue so that way it looks like it's natural. It's not like green or tinted green. Same with blues, so this changes the color of most of the car. It's so weird, but so cool at the same time. So if it's right here at 0, the car is a little more blue whitish. I'm going to bring it down to like right here, maybe -12, so that way it's more white than blue, if that makes sense, because it was blue whitish, and then if now it's like more whitish. I don't know if you can see the green, a little bit of the green. Actually, I'm going to bring it up to 10. 10 is good. I don't think there are any. Oh, right here, there's some purple. Oh shit, that changed the blue. Never mind. On to highlights and split toning. I am gonna... Actually, I don't really mess around with this unless I need to, so there's no really need for me to do this, or use that tool. Sharpening. I always bring it up to like 70, and then masking, I like... BAM! Make sure the outlines of the car are perfect. You see it right there. Noise reduction, luminance. I always try to keep luminance under 25. Anywhere under 25 is perfect. I learned my lesson because I used to like bring it up to like 90. Remove chromatic aberration, enable profile correction. So see how the background's more lit. Now I like to bring down my exposure so that way I can get a nice like vignetting. And I'll get my radial tool. Just watch. I don't need to talk at this part. Bring down the exposure. There we go. Actually, I bring it down even more. That's perfect. And then give it a little warmth. I'm going to go back to my exposure tool, the main, bring it up so that way the car is a little more lighter, and I drop the blacks, and there, so far it's looking nice. Now I can adjust my temperature. No, I want to adjust my tone curve first. If the picture right now looks really nice, but if I want to add a fade effect, I can do this. See how that fade effect really brings out the car a lot more? Or I can leave it normal and just end it like that, but I don't know, maybe there's too much detail in the entire picture versus the car. So I'm going to bring it back to the fade. So that way background and the ground is a little darker. There's more contrast. And I'm going to mess with the reds for the tone curve. So I'm going to bring this notch down a little bit and then this notch up. So right now what you're seeing is the shadows of the car is turning like bluish. You can see it, aqua. And the whites are turning more reddish. I just want a good amount, not too much. I don't want the car to be completely red. I'll leave it there for now. But since now the car is a little more redder than I thought it would be, I'm gonna go up to my temperature control and like adjust it to be more warm. Too much. Reset. So that way the car is less red. And what else can I do? What else can I do? I think that is pretty much it. Actually, hold on. Let's go back to my saturation tool. I see a lot of green, so I'm gonna decrease it. I mean, I see too much green, so I'm gonna decrease it. And a little less blue. There we go. Actually, no. Put it at 55. There we go. That's perfect. And then that is it. That's how I edit my pictures. You can see that big difference. The car pops out a lot more. And I'm going to actually bring up this exposure just a tiny bit. Actually, that's too much. 50 is perfect. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was pretty cool, giving you another tutorial lesson on how I edit my pictures. And it looks completely sick. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace out and stay golden.